Hello, welcome back to Fierce Entertainment. It's time for my review of the last of the Divergent film series, which will be 2016's Divergent series, Allegiant, from Lionsgate. All I can say about this one is, I think that Allegiant gets a bad rap. Allegiant is a beautiful looking movie. It is, in my opinion, a good conclusion in a lot of ways to the Divergent film series, which probably is in a lot of ways a much more realistic reason as to why we never got the fourth movie based off of the fourth novel 4. Although I still would have loved to have seen 4. As a movie, and I have to, if I want to know what happens next, read all the books and see how they differ from these movies, because I've only ever seen the movies. Now, I'll just go ahead and just read on the back here for this synopsis, and I'll fill in anything that's missing. Trish and 4 lead a team of rebels in a daring escape over the city wall into a strange new world where they face a threat more dangerous than they ever imagined. Together, they wage a furious battle for survival, fighting not only for their factions and loved ones, but for the future of an entire city. Alright, well, concluding at the very end of the second movie, Trish does solve the box, and a message is delivered talking about how diversions are the future, and in the entire factions that we had was all part of an experiment to test the limits of humanity from pretty much, the more advanced humans that have been, in the shadows this entire time, beyond this great wall that's supposed to be forbidden to go over. And, well, our heroes go over that wall, despite being told not to. We even lose one of our heroes. Nobody extremely important, but it was still kind of a sad one, for a friend of Trish, in 4. But once they go over the wall, they discovered that the government system and governing world beyond is even worse than the world that was in the city that they were in, the factions. And in an attempt to try to, have these more advanced people help them solve their political controversies in their city and save their home, Trish, with a little bit of supporting push from 4, discovers that they don't want to help. They want to literally wipe the slate clean by erasing everybody's memories with this interesting, type of gas potion of mist of such that literally erases everybody's memory and start all over again and start the faction systems all over again, and people don't know who the hell they are. And their previous life is pretty much just gone. And they have to stop this from happening. And they do stop it from happening. And they actually unite the entire city and pretty much bring it into the faction system by explaining that it's no longer about you. There's a bigger problem out there, and it's the people that created this city, the people that created the factions, and we need to join together to fight them. And that's basically where the movie ends, is with all that. Now, this one's probably the most controversial of the 3, is probably Allegiant, because it really makes you question about humanity in a lot of ways in this one, because you have you always have had this debate in every era of human history. You've always had this debate. Justice versus humanity. In the bridge between the two concepts. It kind of goes like this. You can get justice by punishing the wicked. You know, killing bad people in the eye of justice. But just because you can do it, you should stop and ask yourself if you should do that. And that's kind of, in a lot of ways, one of the cool things about the third film, is that it kind of puts that question out there, and it's something that we don't ask ourselves that often. Is revenge really a good plate to serve? Is justice really worth all of the horrors and the terrors that we combine with it? Or is there a neutral medium? Or is there a better way? Like maybe something else to do. And that's something that I think is kind of cool about this movie. Now let's go on to the quality. Out of the three films, this one probably has the most use of vibrant colors and wider color palette ranges and deeper blacks, because there's so much more going on in this movie in terms of colors. Because once you get beyond that wall, it's not so grim and dim like it is in the Chicago city of the future, but instead you have like this more science fiction, more futuristic, what you think a advanced civilization of the future would look like. Which brings to the audio. Because it has so many things going on, like for example, you have flying vehicles, and you actually have like these drones that you actually control with this headset and moving around with your hands and stuff like that. Move it around there or move around there to see around things. All these things give your, not only are they aggressively active on your overhead channels and your stereo channels and surround channels, but they are giving all of your speakers a radical workout. The subwoofer, like in the first two films, is very good and gives a good workout too. It has very good low bass frequencies on it, on all three of these films. But if I were to choose a film that I would definitely use as a reference quality for Atmos, it would probably be something like Allegiant, because it's definitely good. So yeah, definitely good. Again, these films are not for children. Sorry, but they're not. They're too controversial for children. It's something that you don't want your children watching. You would rather your kid actually, be going through his first, real course in government, real government studies in school or something like that before they would watch these movies. And you usually do that around the age of 17 or 18. And I think that I can safely say that we can go ahead and say that these reviews are for adults and not for kids on that regard. And that's my review of the Divergent series Allegiant. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys next time for another franchise. It's not as big as this one, but it is another one, and it's a couple of 4K titles I recently got, and I definitely am going to get to reviewing. I'm trying to get these things done. It's just sometimes as life's just busy. We had a good holiday with 4th of July. I have a lot more responsibilities at work, but I am not going anywhere, and I am definitely making new content. I'm trying to get back into doing that more often and more consistently. So I'll see you guys next time for my reviews of what I'm going to review next, and I will see you guys then.